She's like, you can't trick me. You can't trick me. Hey guys, Kat here from Standing Stone, and I'm here to talk to you today about place training. I know you're probably thinking, not another place training video. We've done a ton of them, and the reason that we have is because it's a very, very important obedience behavior that we like to instill in our young dogs and puppies and make our lives a lot easier at home. Probably the second most important obedience behavior that we teach, as far as recall being the first. But we've got little Trix here. She is 4 months old, and she has had no collar conditioning to any behaviors yet. As a little puppy, we first started out with just developing the behavior of laying on a dog bed, being a good girl, chewing on a bone, playing with a toy. That was before we even started clicker training, just to kind of develop the behavior of, hey, being on your dog bed is a great place to be. Then through clicker training, we started marking the behavior of her getting on her dog bed and associating the cue kennel. We utilize Coranda's raised platform dog beds. They're great. They give the dogs a nice distinct boundary of where they need to be on and when they're off the dog bed. Now, with Trix, she is a very sweet little puppy and has done a great job with this place training behavior so far. But if you saw in one of our last videos, we were working on free shaping that behavior in a specific situation where we're working and she's needing to go on her dog bed and we're marking that behavior. And we're really trying to build on duration, where she can stay on her dog bed for a longer amount of time through distractions and other things going on. And ultimately, we're ready for collar conditioning that behavior to be able to extend that duration that she can stay there and hold her accountable. Typically with our short hairs, if you've seen some of our video series in the past, we start by collar conditioning recall first. Well, with Trix, we're actually going to start collar conditioning place training first. And that's for a couple of reasons. One, she's a really cooperative little puppy, and her recall side of things is pretty solid at this point. We're still going to have to collar condition it, but that's going to be our second behavior that we collar condition. The first, though, is going to be place training because we have quite a few young dogs in the house. We have Thunder, we have Twister, we have Splash, and we have Trix. And all of them, other than Trix, are collar conditioned to stay on a dog bed, which is awesome. It allows for us to have these dogs be part of the family, be out, and behave. Now, Trix isn't collar conditioned to stay on a dog bed, so guess what she tries to do? She tries to hopscotch from one dog bed to the next, romp around in the living room, and just create chaos. And with young dogs, that energy level just escalates and escalates and escalates until things are just out of control. So now we are to the point where we are ready, she is ready to start collar conditioning to stay on a dog bed and make our lives a lot easier. So to start, I'm going to fit her e-collar. And I'm using DT Systems MR1100, which is probably my favorite go-to puppy training obedience collar. It's super simple with only 3 buttons, so it's easy to not make a mistake on what button you're pushing. It's got vibrate, which we also love for starting these collar conditioning behaviors. And it's a very small receiver box on the collar, so it doesn't take up much room on the small puppy's neck. So I'm going to get that fitted. We want to snug it up to the smallest part of her neck. Make sure it's got a good fit. I can usually get about 2-3 fingers under the collar strap. And then I just slide it through. And then I tuck that collar strap back up on itself so that it's out of the way and not something for her to chew on. So now that we're ready to start training, I'm going to actually take away her little treat. She's just eating a pork chomps treat right now. But take that away so that I've got her focus. She's still staying on her dog bed, which is great. And we are going to start by building a little bit of momentum. We've got a little bit of her leftover from her morning meal, just Eukanuba puppy food. Just kibble, nothing super special, but this is what she's been training with all along. And she's super food motivated. And then the last piece of this puzzle is I'm gonna put her on just a little tether. We talk to a lot of people that they start this process, they turn the collar on and the puppy runs and hides in the living room or goes under the stools or just doesn't go to the dog bed, and then they don't know what to do. They don't know if they should turn the collar off, go pick up the puppy. What should they do? Well, if you've got a little tether, just a lead or a check cord, you can help get their feet moving again if they're freezing, redirect them, help get them out from a place that they might be trying to hide or avoid just because they're startled and they've never felt the collar before. She says, Mom, I'm ready to train. So she's on her dog bed, which is great. I'm going to first ask her kennel. As soon as she's on, click. Couple treats. We're just building momentum of this session so that she understands what we're working on is the kenneling behavior. Tricks. Kennel. Good. Good. Kennel. Oh, the tether, she's like, oh, what is that? It's a little distracting for her, but she's gonna get used to it here pretty quick. Kennel. Let her kind of start to ignore that tether so that she's not distracted by it when we actually start utilizing the collar with the vibrate feature. Kennel. And remember, with clicker training, the click marks the behavior we're looking for, but it also ends the behavior. So if we're trying to build on duration, we would hold that click longer and longer. But again, like I mentioned, we're only getting so far with her, and we need to be able to hold her more accountable to going on the bed and staying on the bed in higher distractions. Tricks. 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 Little distracted, that's okay. Kennel. Good. So I'm just gonna have a couple treats. I'm gonna get rid of the clicker just so that I can overlay with a few food rewards still if she wants to take them once we start with the collar. And then she's gonna come off the bed, and then I'm just gonna use vibrate to get her back on the bed. I haven't used the collar yet. I'd like to show you what that looks like and how she reacts the first time. So, kennel. She's looking around because she feels that collar. It's just vibrating. As soon as she gets on, it shuts off. Good girl. Good. You want a treat? Want a treat? You can still have one. There we go. So we're still overlaying a food reward. It's not necessary, and some puppies won't actually eat the reward after we've started this process, which is fine. I'm just gonna, again, grab the end of my tether, so if she tries to avoid, I can keep her from doing so. She's gonna feel the collar, tricks, kennel. As soon as she's on, it shuts off. That's a good girl. So she's looking around a little bit. You can tell she's feeling that collar, hearing that collar vibrate, and she's then listening to the cue I'm giving her, getting on her bed, it's shutting off. So we're making that association of getting on your dog bed is what's shutting this collar off pretty quickly with her. Tricks, kennel. Tricks, kennel. Good. So I'm glad I had the tether on because she started just trying to walk off into the kitchen, which then I would have had to try and chase her down, get her back, and refocus to be back over here. And with the tether, I wasn't able to let her get out of this training situation. Then I kept her focused close to the dog bed until she made the decision to get on. Vibrate stayed on the whole time until she was back on the bed. Tricks, kennel. Good girl. Good girl. Give you a few more treats, a few more food bites. Good. Okay. Tricks. Kennel. Good girl. So she's figuring that out really quick, not as much avoiding. Okay. Tricks. Kennel. Good girl. Using a little bit of my body language to move towards the bed still, giving her a little cue with my body that that's the direction I want her to go. Tricks. Kennel. Good. So you can tell she's a little more subdued, her tail's down. She's maybe not 100% confident in this situation, but I'm helping her understand what I want. And she's gonna pick up on this really quickly. She already has shown that. And then we're gonna have a little more calm Trixie in the house instead of ping-ponging Trixie in the house, right? You like to ping-pong with Twister, don't you? And Splash. Okay, okay. Trix. Oh, drop my tether. Kennel. So she's doing a little freezing, just move. Good. So I just helped move her feet by just tugging with the tether. I wasn't reeling her in, dragging her to the dog bed, just she kind of got frozen, like, oh, I feel this vibrate, what do I do? Tug, tug, tug. Oh, my feet are moving again. I can complete the behavior. Good girl. Good. Okay. I'm going to try and do a few reps pretty quickly and just build some momentum. Okay. Okay. So she can help understand that behavior and associate it really well. Okay. She's like, I know I'm just going to get asked to get back on here. Okay. Come on. Come on, come on, come on. Good girl. Good. Trix. Kennel. Good. Good. Okay. Okay, girl. Come on. Come on. Come on. And her understanding that, hey, I'm just going to be asked to get back on this dog bed. Why am I getting off of it? Is a really good way of her showing that she's understanding that, hey, staying on the dog bed, I don't feel the vibrate. So maybe I should just stay on the dog bed. So we're already building on that duration with one training session. Good girl. Okay, Trix. Come on. She's like, you can't trick me. You can't trick me. So the reason that she's doing so well with this is because we've done so much foundational work up until this point with the developing of the behavior as a puppy, clicker training, free shaping, and being really consistent with what our expectations are. She's picked up on this really quickly, haven't you, girl? Good girl. She says, I'll be ready for my next collar conditioning session with place training this evening with my evening meal, and we're gonna just keep building on the understanding that the collar shuts off when you get on the bed, and then we can help build on that duration with her through distractions. Right, girl? That's a good Trixie pup. Thanks, guys, for watching. I'm Kat, the dog trainer, and we'll see you in the next video.